Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's another beautiful day here in Britain, and we're coming into the bank holiday weekend. So I decided to draw a little cartoon to celebrate the fact we're having a bank holiday, which means that I have to bypass this today because this is a bit large. But I thought maybe later on I'll add another little cartoon into that, just to do with stamps. This isn't to do with stamps really, this is about the bank holiday. And George and his missus are walking into town, and as it's a bank holiday, well, all the banks are shut here. Permanently. Not just for the bank holiday. We haven't got any banks in our town, and if you go to the high streets in towns now, very few are open. They direct you to the post office, or they have pop-up banks. Who would have thought it, eh? Anyway, enough of that. Also, we got the usual suspects. Adolf is there, cup of tea, bit of a coin, Floyd's Bank closed, Trustweed Savings Bank shut, Bank of Smash shut, OK Banks shut, Halifax's is shut, Barclays Bank is shut, well closed, the Nat East. Remember the Nat West? Well, this is the Nat East High Street Bank. They're all shut, and as this character says, run away, run away. But we're not going to run away. We're going to have some good fun, and we're going to have a little look at some universal stamps. And I picked up the title of this from this album here. And I thought we'd have a little look through it. It originated the owner was living in Hertfordshire. And I thought we'd quickly go through Aiden. I haven't got any Aiden stamps, but I have now, which is nicely put them together there. And there's a nice little overprint here. What does it say? Come along, Peter. Let's have a little look at this. It says Revised Constitution, 1959. Very nice. Nice and historic. And here we have Buenos Aires being the capital of Argentina, and this is the stamp, and yep, turn over and we've got a ladder Australian stamps put in, slightly higgledy-piggledy, but that's quite nice. Olympiad, I like that. Air stamp, bird, I think we've seen these birds. More birds. Her Majesty, the Olympics, the 16th Olympiad, which was in 1956, Australia. More of the Queen. I don't think I've got that one. Queensland, probably a territory on its own back then. I think they unified it properly later on. Kangaroo, that's a classic stamp. Yeah, so those are quite nice. Also, Australian Antarctic Territory. I've got this one. We'll continue. We won't do it all because we will run out of time. Now, this is a country that I have been collecting. Thus, I'm just looking at maybe ones that I have or haven't got. And I have these people, I seem to remember these. Not sure about this though. Certainly not that. Yes. Maybe. No. No. That's not like that. No, maybe. So that's quite nice for me. Denmark, I've got 1,000 of these. I'll be able to fill this book up. Not sure whether I should though, because it's someone else's starter. Gibraltar, Suomi, which is Finland. He's put Egypt, she has put Egypt here, but it is that sort of page. I'll just carry on a little bit. What else have we got? Gross Britannian, the usual suspects. Here's one of those castles. So that's nice to come across. Castle. And then we've got Holland. Again, there's a lot of the queens are around. Hungary, someone's been having a delve and a bit of a feast here. But that one I have not got. I have got this one, and I definitely have got one of those. Oop. Italy is another country that I've been collecting. Have I got that? Yes, I've got most of these I would expect. That one maybe not. Bit of detail from the artist. Set series. Got all of those. What about that? Someone's been delving deeply into this before passing it on to me. What else? Anything else of Malaya, New Zealand, Majesty. These are nice flags. Iran. I don't see there's someone's been chomping away at the bit. Let's have a look at these here. San Marino, quite nice. Yeah. So Mother Russia, actually, these are a bit of a find. Look at that. These are a find. I'm not saying there's any value in them, but I just don't have any of them. Look at the old Lenin. Wow. Yeah. So she's loaded that page up with Russian. Nice. Sarawak. Don't have that. Spain, I think we got as much as we need of Spain going on, and then new issues coming out. New then, presumably. Now they are pretty old. Yeah, so that's quite a nice album and a nice map at the back where you can have a look where the sun never set on the British Empire. Canada, there's a bit going on there. Most of Africa, a lot of Africa anyway. But not just Africa, not just Britain. There's a bit of French going on there. Or Germany, I should say, and German there, I think. French would be that lot. Yeah. And Belgium, we're having a bit. India here, India. And we've got Australia. So it gives you a sort of a picture of the British Empire. You don't quite see them as much as you used to. China, and India, Pakistan, and all of these, of course, were like French. So that's quite nice. Universal. And here we have again Universal. Stamp album. Just quickly, just to finish off, I did pick this one up also, so just have a little look. I mean, there's nothing. This is just it's possibly another nothing burger of a video, but that's quite nice. So, again, these castles are starting to jump out at me. But only 2 from the set. The 2 and 6s and the red one. But quite nice to come across when I've been sort of looking at them. These trains and planes and engines, and yeah, there's some big Queen's heads. Stock books are fantastic. You put stuff in there and they just stay there for years and you don't have to really do anything with them. Well, you do. You've got to keep them dry, otherwise they'll start sticking. Look at Australia there. Australia. Don't bend it, Peter. Australia. Kangaroo. Another wangaroo there. That could be quite an early-ish one, maybe, I don't know. I seem to think that some kangaroos are more desirable than the others. And then finally this page, just doesn't go on too much. Oh, Jersey Guernsey, so someone's been loading up with, you know, they've dedicated a page to Guernsey and Jersey and the Channel Islands. Nothing wrong with that. It's not illegal. And here we've got a 25th anniversary, United Nations, New Zealand are involved with that. That's nice. It goes back there. So you get hold of this stuff and, you know, the temptation, there's no temptation. The temptation is, for me personally, is just to leave it, to protect it, to save it, to not fiddle with it, to not mess about with somebody else's work, to treat it as a collection complete, rather than what some people do is they get it, and I'm not criticising them, but they take what they want and they add to their, you know, these to their own needs. I quite understand that. Sometimes you've got to buy the whole page to get the one stamp. And it's just as cheap to buy the whole page as it is to buy the one stamp. But personally, as you know, I create my own mostly out of throwaways, maybe. You know, I'm fairly happy to leave things be. Because there's enough for me to be getting on with without, you know, decimating other people's collections. Even though they may have had enough of them, or they've moved on, or gone to a better place, or gone to the great bank in the sky. You know, these are works of art. Individual stamps are works of art. Collections tells you all you need to know about the stamp, but also about the collector. Anyway, I'm rambling on a little bit, so we'll say goodbye to George and his wife. We'll go for a nice cup of tea now, prepare for the bank holiday. It's Friday today, so we got Saturday with shops will be open. Sunday and Monday will be the sort of closed days around here. We've got a coin in the street, we've got a glass of wine that's spilt. Run away. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.